Hey guys, Viking 82 here, back with a new Viking oration. Got another review for you today, and this time I'm going to be talking to you about the debut full-length album from the band Upon Stone, entitled Dead Mother Moon, out now through Century Media Records. And if you're not familiar with Upon Stone, they are a melodic death metal band from Los Angeles, California. Been around since 2021, featuring Ronnie Lee on lead guitar, Gage Goss on guitars, Wyatt Bentley handling the drums, and finally Xavier Wahlberg doing bass and vocals. As I said, this is their debut full-length album. It is 9 tracks and just a little under 32 minutes in length. And honestly, I've been a fan of this band since I discovered their 2021 EP, Where Wild Sorrows Grow. So when I heard that they were signed to Century Media Records and had a full-length coming, I eagerly awaited it, and honestly, these guys did not disappoint me in the least with this album. The guitar work on this thing is just so fantastic, in my opinion. They have that old school melodic death metal tone to them that's just not overly polished, but yet has some heft to them at the same time. Lots of mid to fast-paced riffs with more, melodic passages and these nice head-bangable grooves and gallops. They honestly bring to mind like old school Arch Enemy, maybe some At the Gates and In Flames, and even Darkane at points, I thought. But when you get into track number 2, Onyx Through the Heart, that whole opening to that song, but especially the riff at the 45-second mark, gives off some serious old school Amon Amarth vibes, in my opinion. Then when you get into track 4, Dusk Sang Fairest, 202 into that song, there's this break where it's just like these acoustic guitars playing these different slow-picked riffs with what to me sounds like this faint, almost like a stringed instrument, maybe a violin just playing like a little string along, nothing too over the top or anything, but it's just very faint, but I definitely picked that out. I thought that worked really well. And then finally, things kick back into gear at the 244 mark with a nice heavy riff, but I just love that little passage there. The bass is thick sounding and tends to work in tandem with the guitars for that wall of heaviness, though it's still easily made out in the mix in spots. And it does come through just a little bit more, but for the most part it kind of stays lower in the mix unless the guitars speak for themselves. But again, providing that nice solid backbone to all of the songs. I love the drum production and performance on here. Great snap to the snare, really killer kick drum sound as well, and I really dug the double bass work, and there's plenty of solid patterns, rolls, and fills, and some nice blast beats to be found on here. Vocally, you get that kind of standard melodic death metal shout. It's powerful yet intelligible, and they also throw in some more traditional growls as background vocals as well at times. Some of the other things that I picked out here, track number 8, The Lantern, at 4:10, I just loved the keyboards that come in here. They're not too over the top or anything, and they work really nicely with that heavy riffing that's going on at that particular moment and the double bass work that's going on. Beautiful part of that song, loved it. And they actually close this album out with a bonus track, which is actually a Misfits cover of the song Dig Up Her Bones. And while many, really hate the Graves era Misfits, this was actually always been one of my favorite songs off the American Psycho album, and I thought this band did an absolutely killer job of doing a cover of it. But yeah, really love that. Overall, I just thought this was an absolutely killer debut album for this LA crew. It's heavy, yet it's catchy, and you really gets the head banging with some really killer grooves and melodic hooks to it, and I love that they dedicated this album to Alexi Laiho from Children of Bodom and Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder. That was really, solid of them to do that. These guys are definitely talented and definitely have a bright future ahead of them, in my opinion, and I definitely look forward to hearing what's coming in the future from this band, and I highly recommend this to anybody who's a fan of that old school death metal sound. Yeah, this gets a solid 9 out of 10 from me. Go check out Upon Stone. I will be leaving a link down below to their Bandcamp so you can check this out, as well as their EP, and support this band. They definitely deserve it. And yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and until next time, stay brutal.